Hello and welcome back to another video on Aerosoft Move. Today we're going to do another dev interview for you, and today we're going to cover global pharma. And with me is Peter of Thera, and he's going to answer a lot of my questions that you frequently asked. And hi, Peter, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. So before we start off with the most frequently asked question, for some people who might not know global pharma, would you just quickly summarize the game so that everybody who's watching knows exactly what we're talking about?
Yeah, so Global Farmer is our top-down management game that uses real map data from OpenStreetMap. So you're allowed to play anywhere in the world. You can play in your neighborhood, you can play in famous regions, I don't know, like the Tuscany. And yeah, you have different regions where you can farm, try your farming luck, and have to challenge the different weather conditions or the soil value or something like this.
Global Pharma is going to participate with a demo in the Steam Next Fest, and let's quickly talk about how extensive the demo will be. So how long the players can play, for how long the demo is going to last, and yeah, let's just quickly talk about that.
Yeah, so for the demo we decided to design 3 pre-selected maps to play. So one in the US, one in Central Europe, and one in Asia, Japan. And you can play our tutorial we designed to explain the most important elements. So designing your farm, buy and cultivate fields, planting crops, and do contract work, for example. And you have a total playtime of 15 in-game years. So after that, you can start again and try another strategy maybe, and yeah, that's it actually.
So a lot of gameplay, a lot of possibilities for all the players to experience. And I mean, there are a lot of farming games. The farming genre is pretty big in terms of video games. So what does Global Pharma do special, or what is special about Global Pharma in general compared to other farming simulations?
Yeah, so as I already said, the most unique selling point of Global Pharma is actually that it's global. So with the OSM, with the OpenStreetMap data, we can allow you to play all over the world, so any place. So you can type in coordinates, you can type in postal codes or your favorite city, and you can experience the regional differences in each region you want to play. Also, we have a very good simulation of values that are very important for farming. For example, nutrients. Crops need nutrients or a certain amount of solar hours, something like this, and all these values will keep your crop healthy or maybe damage the crops, and therefore you get less yield and you make less money. So with that, we also want to reinforce this regional feeling. So different regions have different rainfall, for example, or soil textures, or also weather, or the pH value. So our goal is that a region feels different with these agricultural values there.
Yeah, and some of you might be familiar with OpenStreetMap already without even knowing, because City Bus Manager actually uses the same kind of thing. So they also use OpenStreetMap and it works really well. It's really impressive actually. And how large is the map going to be? So if you select anywhere in the world, what is the size of the map that you can play on?
So even though we are a global pharma, we also want to give the experience of a regional, so of a region that differs from each other. So we decided that we have a regional size. Like if you type in your city, maybe there's a smaller city, you will have all the fields around this city. So you don't have the complete countries like, I don't know, like Germany. Instead, you have this regional feeling of a smaller city maybe. And so with OSM we can provide this actually, because we want this regional feeling, and we will achieve this with these with this data for the fields. So we can assure that you will see something familiar when you type in your maybe your home or your favorite area. You will see familiar fields, or also see the city names and the streets and the rivers and the forests. So you can recognize the fields from the real world.
And let's talk about machines and crops in particular. So, I mean, you have a lot of crops and also a lot of vehicles to select from. Could you quickly give us an overview of what we can expect in terms of crops and available vehicles to the player?
Yes, so we designed Global Farmer with some, I would say highly inspired by real life working steps on the field. So for example, you have to cultivate, you have to prepare the seedbed, you have to plow, you have to, of course, seeding and harvesting. And for each step you need the proper vehicle. So we offer the players that for each step the highly inspired by real models vehicles, and also for the crops we have a variety on crops like tomato or strawberry, potatoes, corn, carrots, and of course you need the corresponding vehicle for the right crop. So these are also in the game, but you can also work with manual labor. You can hire people that have a monthly wage. You have to provide, and can also use manual work.
Yeah, you already mentioned the process of seeding and harvesting, but let's dive into that a little deeper. Could you give us an overview of how exactly it's going to look if you start the game to you're going to harvest your first crop? So what's going to take up to that point?
So first of all, we are a top-down management game, so we see the world from the top with all your fields you can acquire. And also your farm building, where you can access your actual farm, where you can design your farm and build stuff, and also buy your tractors and park your vehicles. So first of all, you need all the requirements for your favorite crop you want to plant, and then you go to the map, and then you can choose your favorite field and then choose your crop. So when you're choosing a crop, you can see the need, the crop, what the crop needs actually. So how many nitrogen, how many phosphorus, how many sunshine hours, temperature, and so on. And you can compare it to other crops. So then you can decide which crop you want to plant, and then you have to go these steps that I mentioned earlier. For example, cultivate, plow, preparing the seedbed, and then you have to assign your tractors or your workers to these actions, and so each action needs the corresponding vehicle, of course. So after that, you can plant the crop, and then you can watch them grow actually on the normal speed. So we want to assure that it's you have a pleasant view on your farm, that the tractor is driving on it and doing the actions you assign to them. And but you can also fast forward the game and skip to the next action, so you don't have to wait. But yeah, you can also just do something else. Something else in the meantime. You can just buy another field and also plant a crop there, and so that's it.
So we talked about the building aspect of the game quite a bit now. Let's head over to the management aspect. I mean, it's also a management game after all. So how is that going to look from like, directing co-workers to build to buying crops? How is that kind of management aspect going to work? How is that looking?
So you said it. It's a management game, so it's all about maximizing your money, your capital. So how do you do this? You can sell your yield on the marketplace right now, or you can do contract work. So, for example, contract work is you accept the contract, and then you have a limited time to fulfill the contract, and you have to deliver certain amount of crops of fruits, or they're always different, so you can maximize your money there. So if you want to, as a farmer, you want to grow, that means you get more fields. That also means you need more vehicles and worker, and so on and so on, and this costs a lot of money. So you have to get the most yield out of your plantings. And how do you get this? It's obviously you have to meet the requirements of the crops. So for example, if your field has no potassium anymore, but you're a carrot farmer or something like this, or some crop that needs a lot of potassium, you have to ensure potassium flow to the field, because if there's no potassium, there will no good yield at the end, and you won't make money. So you have a lot of important decisions you should make if you maybe which focus you want on crops, and then you have to ensure that your crop is healthy, and your soil is also healthy and has enough for example nutrients. So also you can plant some crops like we have the ryegrass. The ryegrass is special because it gives back nutrients. So you can decide if you want to plant the ryegrass, but maybe you don't get much money out of it because it's not like a strawberry, and but you make your soil healthy, more healthy again. So you have to decide what makes more money on your farm.
Yeah, besides soil condition, I mean, the weather and the seasons that are going to be a part of global farm as well are going to take a big part in, how your soil is going to grow, and how successful your harvest is going to be. So can you talk about that a little? How's the weather and the seasons, how is that going to influence the game experience, basically?
Yes, so we have three major values for the weather. So we have the rainfall, the temperature, and the hours of sunshine, and these have major effect on the growth period of the crop. So if you have no water left on the soil, your crop will pretty sure dying really fast there. And if it's raining, it will increase the value of the soil moisture, or the water level on the field, and I don't have to irrigate very much. So if I'm in a region where the rainfall is pretty strong, it's advantage for me because I don't have to water my plants or to irrigate the field. Temperature and sunshine hours are are the values that have a direct impact on the crops. So certain crops just need a threshold on temperature, an average temperature or average sunshine hours. So if I don't met these requirements, then my crops will suffer, and therefore the yield will suffer, and I make less money. And also these temperature or these weather values differ from each region. So also here the idea that different regions also feeling different. So when I start in South America, it should be different than maybe when I start in the UK, because the weather is pretty different there. Yeah.
And coming back to the next fest, which is going to take place very soon actually, and the demo, can you give us a little insight on what you're currently working on? So what is currently on your mind?
So we are highly inspired by real life farming actions. So this comes with a challenge. Challenge is that these systems we implemented are sometimes hard to understand. So we got also a lot of feedback that some things in the process are not easy to understand. So we decided to work a lot on to make it easier to understand and comprehend what players actually are doing, because it's fieldwork is very complicated in real life, and we want to show it in Global Farmer, but we don't want to completely overwhelm the players. So we actually working a lot on this on this field. Also, the Steam Next is around the corner, so we are working really hard on the demo. Also, some other features that we'll be preparing for the early access launch.
Yeah, you already mentioned it really fittingly. Why did you decide to release in early access and not full release? So what is your reasoning behind that?
Yeah, so early access gives us a chance to work closely, of course, with farm fans, and we also have the really good experience with early access with another title, Zombie Q Lab, made by Thera Bytes. We worked also closely with the fans together with players that liked our game actually, and the special thing from Global Farmer is the topic of farming, and I think there are a lot of topics we can tackle with Global Farmer. We also have a lot of ideas what we can do in such a to bring it into Global Farmer. And I also think that a lot of farm fans they are craving for a good farming game, for a good farming management game, and I think Global Farmer can actually do this, and this is why we want to work with you together, with the players, with the farm fans, and shape Global Farmer, because I think there are a lot of maybe people who all actually working in agriculture and also just farming fans. They love to play these games, and I think we can work together with you.
Another interesting feature is actually the level editor and also the Steam Workshop support. Maybe you can talk about that a little.
Yeah, so we planning a level editor. Why are we doing this? Because the challenge of using real-world data is that the data is sometimes really incomplete. So we want to offer a global experience. So we want to assure that players can play all over the world. But we have the problem that the data we use has a lot of regions that are not covered. For example, Europe, Central Europe is really good, has really good coverage. So we know where fields are. We have data about real fields we can use in the game. But if you take a look on, for example, Africa, the coverage is really bad. But we also, as I said, we want to have a global experience here. So this is the reason why we want to implement a level editor. So if you have a region, maybe your hometown, and you load this map into the game, and it says, "Oh my God, here are really this bad coverage on data." You can open the level editor and draw actually fields into this region, and also you can draw whatever you want, but you can also, of course, redraw your home map and save it, and also share it with other people over the with the Steam workshop, and so we can assure that you can actually play all over the world on every spot of the world you want to.
Already looking forward to the Discord comments and all the maps that's going to be uploaded to the Steam workshop. Definitely going to take a look at it and probably cover some of the maps. On YouTube, maybe on Twitch, and check them out. Really looking forward to that. And the most important question, we saved that one for last. Can you tell us anything about the release date?
Yeah, it's a common question, the release date. So first of all, we want to focus on the upcoming Steam Next Festival, so we're preparing the demo. But we're planning to release Global Farmer on Steam later this year. So just keep up to date, just join our Discord, leave a comment, especially our Discord, because you can get in contact with us. And we are eager to hear about your ideas, what Global Farmer could be, what Global Farmer makes great, that you want to play it.
I think we've covered all the most important questions that we've read so far. I think that was probably pretty good for all the people who had a lot of questions about it. And of course, we're going to upload a lot of content in the near future, covering the demo, but also on Twitch, like the main game, and give you a little insight, more and more insights on what you can expect. We're going to do live streams on Twitch, so if you want to check it out live, you can do that pretty soon actually, or you can rewatch it on YouTube. It doesn't matter. We're going to re-upload everything, and you got a lot of content that you can check out. And I think, like Peter already said, check out the Discord. It's probably the best place to leave feedback, but also here on YouTube or on Twitch. And I think that's about it. Thank you for joining me, Peter. Thank you for clarifying a lot of our questions.
Thanks for having me. And stay tuned for Global Farmer.
I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.